everybody, this is Alchemist 2 and I'm back again with another book review. I just recently read Why We Sleep, Unlocking the Power of Sleep and Dreams by Matthew Walker, PhD. And of course, this book is broken into some parts, 4 parts in fact. Part 1, this thing called sleep. Part 2, why should you sleep? Part 3, why we dream. And part 4, sleeping pills. And honestly, the part on sleeping pills is very eye-opening, pardon the pun. And it just talks about blue light and how, evolutionarily speaking, when we rose from the depths, we were programmed to react to blue light. And a lot of our devices actually use blue light. REM sleep, it's very interesting. I've always loved Onirism. I've been fascinated by it ever since I was small, and it talks about just how we are different in and of ourselves as a species, and why a certain prescribed sleep doesn't really apply when it comes to human beings. A lot of people say 8, some people say 4 to 6. I guess it just depends on the body itself, but sleep is imperative. It's integral. It helps our immune system. It's impossible to have a good sex life without having sleep. And it talks about narcolepsy. It talks about sleep in and of itself. He's so funny, Mr. Walker. Dr. Walker, I should say, at the very beginning of the chapter of sleep and dreaming, he said, "Last night you went psychotic." That's right. I thought, yeah, that's true. You were delusional. You heard things that weren't there. And he talks about lucid dreaming and how certain individuals, I've done it myself, are more apt to be lucid dreamers. He talks about PTSD, certain triggers in our minds, memories, and how over the duration of sleep we store a lot of things into a hard drive. It's not a good analogy, and some things are forgotten, and a lot of things like the PTSD, something that keeps coming back to me is not something I like to admit to readily, but when I was in 3rd grade, I got angry over something. No, I don't remember what I got angry over. I punched a kid. I mean, I've never been violent my whole entire life except for that moment. I punched a kid, and for the fact that I wanted a jump rope really, really bad. And of course, I threatened him too. I said, "Look, I know where you live, and I'm going to kill you." I thought, woo, yeah, I was a gangster when I was in 3rd grade, but I didn't ever do that again. And of course I remember incident a little bit earlier than that. That was when I had a basketball I was really proud of, and you know, I wasn't half bad. I'm not an athlete, but I could do a good layup with that basketball. And apparently somebody was really, I think it was a Final Four basketball, in fact. It was one that I had earned through hard work and sacrifice and getting enough money raised through a fundraiser, and I had a really nice lunchbox. And one of my supposed friends, I was going home. I was happy to go home from school because I could just walk home. And little snot, she decided to trip me, and I just saw my world come crashing down, quite literally, because everything in my perception of time, there was no perception of time. Everything became very slow. But that's the first thing, that's the first real encounter I had with what I know as alternate realities. And I mean, I didn't even understand quantum physics or anything remotely related to that, and I've become utterly ensconced in just reading everything I can, and books like this one. And this book is a call to arms because it basically tells us that it is necessary, and that the whole idea of thinking of sleep as of a weakness and something that only certain types of people, well, we all need sleep. It's just that is the long and short of it. That's the crux of it. Sorry, my cat keeps getting into the shot. Nice shot of your butt, Bubby. But, anyway, I'm sorry you just saw my cat's fuzzy butt. But this was an utterly illuminating, fascinating book about just narcolepsy and fatal sleep disorders, and how ADHD is actually a sleep disorder in and of itself. I thought, ooh, that's controversial. But it speaks of why sleep itself for children, and a lot of states are doing this, and thank heaven they are, because they're taking note of the studies that have been done on moving school hours when school actually opens to a later time in the day when the brain can be more receptive to learning, because developing minds need sleep, especially teenage minds. And this is really quite interesting. And he says that narcolepsy, not narcolepsy, but insomnia and sleep deprivation are two entirely different things. I thought, well, yeah, duh. I know that. I have a friend who has insomnia, so I'm very well aware of this. But it is just a very well-written book, rife with humor, and just kind of short, actually. I know, for me saying that, people just laugh like, what do you call a short read, Alchemist? It's only 400 pages. No, it's 300 something. That's, to me, that's a day's read if I just had time to sit down. I actually finished this in 2 days, as I was so just enchanted by it. But I'm going to read the last part of what the doctor says. It's very common sense, actually. Stick to a sleep schedule. Go to bed and wake up at the same time. Exercise is great, not late in the day. Avoid caffeine and nicotine. Duh. My friends gave me cappuccino at work just because she was being kind to me, and I could not get to sleep until 12:45, and everybody thought it was hilarious, but it wasn't funny for me. Avoid alcoholic drinks. That part was very interesting because a lot of people have nightcaps, and we know that alcohol is a depressant, but it does not help you go to sleep. Avoid meals. Avoid large meals late at night. A late snack is okay. Drinking too many fluids can cause frequent awakenings. See, this is just logical. Avoid medicines that delay or disrupt your sleep. Don't take naps after 3 p.m. I thought that was very interesting. I'm thinking about European countries in that aspect. They actually take their naps before they have siesta. I think we should have that here in the States. Relax before bed. Don't overschedule your day. Take a hot bath. Yeah, I've done that. Dark bedroom, gadget free. Have the right sunlight exposure. Well, yeah, sure. Don't lie in bed awake. If you find yourself awake, then get up and do something relaxing to help you go back to sleep. And I just think that Dr. Walker is very, very wise in everything that he says. And I highly recommend this book. And that's about all I got to say. So until next time, live long and prosper. Ciao, Tootsie.